Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. SmackDown is barely alive. SmackDown is on life support. I mean, the best thing that happened on the October 3rd edition of Friday Night SmackDown was the fact that they announced Roman Reigns from Monday Night Raw. That was the biggest, most important thing that happened on the October 3rd edition of Friday Night SmackDown, was the fact that they announced Roman Reigns' return for the next Monday night. But like SmackDown, there's been a couple good SmackDowns in 2025, but most of them have been mediocre or below average. I mean, the only reason SmackDown is barely alive right now is because of Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is doing these United States Open challenges, and they're fucking awesome. They're awesome. This whole United States Open challenge thing was started by John Cena back in the day. John Cena wanted to give younger talent some TV time, an introduction to the national audience, and just have them have a great match with John Cena. Happened to Kevin Owens, happened to Neville, I believe. It happened to Sami Zayn, right? That's why John Cena returned the favor to Sami Zayn a little bit ago. Now Sami Zayn is continuing on that legacy of doing the United States Open Challenge. Now, it's not controversial to say whatsoever that Sami Zayn is a better in-ring worker than John Cena. Obviously, Sami Zayn doesn't have some of the other extra characteristics and intangibles that made John Cena the greatest of all time, but Sami Zayn can put on an absolutely fantastic match. And I don't know what people are saying about he's boring and all these types of things. You can love or hate Sami Zayn. You can think he should be a world champion. You can think he should not be a world champion. That doesn't matter to me. What does matter to me is that we're honest about the fact that Sami Zayn is one of the best in-ring workers we've seen in a very, very long time. At least in the last 10 years, he's in the top 5. The dude can have in-ring workers, in-ring competitors, in-ring workers. He can work and wrestle with literally anyone, and you can see that as he puts on great match after great match after great match on Friday Night SmackDown, literally saving the show. So again, you can think whatever you want. I don't think Sami Zayn should be a world champion. At the beginning of the year, I was very sold on Sami Zayn being a world champion. I was like, okay, it's going to be Sami Zayn after WrestleMania, going into WrestleMania 42, which is coming up next year in Las Vegas in 2026. I was like, okay, Sami Zayn's going to be on the chase. He's going to be on the chase until he fights Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and then he's going to finally win the big one. I mean, he's beaten Gunther. He's beaten world title. He's won, big matches. He's the underdog, right? He's really, really, really good at that. But now I'm not convinced that he's a world champion. I'd rather see LA Knight win a world title. I think the Jey Uso winning a world title was a wrong decision. Didn't need to happen. But not everyone is a world champion. I mean, look at Roddy Piper. But I think LA Knight, I would move him into a world championship spot more than I would Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's great in this upper mid-card echelon doing main event type stuff because he can do main event type stuff. I mean, the stuff with the Bloodline was amazing, right? He can do that, and he can have main event style matches with literally anyone, anytime. And he's right now currently saving the show on Friday Night SmackDown, and there's nothing really else to note about it. We're going to see Damian Priest and Aleister Black, I guess, in a last man standing match. I think that's what happened. I was also, and I think that's when it happened. I think another big thing is that The Miz turned on Carmelo Hayes, which I think could be a really, 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 really good feud for Carmelo Hayes to like finally have something to sink his teeth into, right? The Miz is one of the best of all time. I think one of the most underrated superstars of all time in terms of how he started and how he ended and his sort of trajectory upwards, how much better he's gotten, how much he loves WWE and how much he portrays his love for WWE and how hard he works and how he stays relevant. And Carmelo Hayes is one of those up-and-comers who could really be part of WWE's future, main eventers and really do big stuff, but he needs something to sink his teeth into. He needs the audience to see him every single week evolve and grow, and I think being meshed with The Miz is the right way to go for that, for the development of his future. So that's also really cool. And, the WWE title picture is kind of lame. Imagine if we're at WrestlePalooza and Drew McIntyre beats Cody Rhodes. Nobody would expect that. And nobody would expect the fact that Randy Orton was out there doing that, helping him. Maybe accidentally, maybe on purpose. I love the fact that Cody Rhodes would have lost that title from Randy Orton on purpose. Drew McIntyre wins because Cody Rhodes cost him the title, and then Drew McIntyre can go and have a feud with someone else with the WWE title to elevate Drew McIntyre, to elevate the WWE title, eventually coming back to Cody Rhodes probably at WrestleMania, where Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes could wrestle, which would be awesome. Or eventually maybe they wrestle at Royal Rumble, right? Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes wrestle Royal Rumble. No. A thought here. No. I don't know. Anyways, I'm just thinking about it in real time because imagine, so you're at WrestlePalooza, you really want to shake things up. It's a very mediocre pay-per-view or PLE, and then Randy Orton comes out, he costs Cody Rhodes the title, Drew McIntyre moves on to something else, and then you see this deep, deep hatred and feud and just absolute money storyline between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, and then eventually both of them come back to the WWE Championship, and then you have a feud there, and then maybe eventually the title gets sort of patty-caked a few times, and then eventually you have Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania for the title in basically Randy Orton's last Mania main event, maybe getting Randy Orton to 17 world titles so you can at least tie John Cena, and then at WrestleMania 43, it's John Cena versus Randy Orton, 17 world titles, vacant world title, the winner wins 18th world title. I mean, that's not going to happen, just talking out of my ass right there, but I do think that it would have made everything a lot more interesting now, currently on SmackDown, if Randy Orton had costed Cody Rhodes the title, Drew McIntyre's the champion, now we're seeing Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton go head-to-head, now we're just seeing like this random Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes match. It's okay because now it takes a break because we know that Seth Rollins and CM Punk are going to continue their feud till WrestleMania. And then you think, I don't know what Cody Rhodes is planning, but it's probably, hopefully going to be somewhere Cody Rhodes feuding with Drew McIntyre and with Randy Orton, maybe with just Randy Orton. And so those are some things that I've been thinking about in the future for Friday Night SmackDown and for WWE, but it would have been much more interesting had Randy Orton cost him the title, and SmackDown probably wouldn't be on life support right now. It'd be something that'd be must see, and the only thing that's saving SmackDown right now is Sami Zayn, and they need something to be injected into SmackDown to make it sort of boost, and that would have been great if you saw that at WrestlePalooza. It would have sort of forced people to be like, oh, what's going to happen now with Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton? I got to go tune into SmackDown. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'd absolutely love to hear from you. Then like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.